Okay, welcome everybody to our little low tox class. We're going to help you understand why it's really good and healthy for us and our household to really reduce the toxins in cleaning products and how it's going to benefit our whole body as well. But just a little hands up, or you can do a virtual hand. Who uses oils or essential oils in the cleaning? Who uses vinegar or any natural products in the cleaning? We've already got, yeah, many of you. And some of you may be total beginners, which is absolutely fine. That's perfect because we'll be able to give you some very simple ways to start, even if it's just by making your own spray to start with. That's how I started. And then you sort of build up your collection. Lovely. So I'll just start by sharing our little slides. And we'll welcome Shelley.
Hello.
Hello, Shelley. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, lovely. Okay. Yeah. So how to reduce toxin in our home. We're going to look at the why we should green clean. It's not just a fad. It's an important message behind it. The power of certain oils and the properties. Many are antimicrobial, antibacterial. Certain ones are good for mold, and we'll look into that as well. We're going to look at some top products that we can make really easily and just how affordable it is, saving lots of pennies from these subscription cleaning services. We could just use the oils that we have already, so really keep it nice and cheap. And we're also going to look at the endocrine system as well, and how certain chemicals can really knock us off balance. Because obviously years ago, we know our parents they probably may sort of clean their home with a lot more natural things than we do now. And a lot used vinegar and things like that, and they knew the power of lemon and bicarbonate of soda and soda crystals and all sorts of things. So we want to sort of go back to that because of the risks involved really with some of the things that can really affect our family's health, our respiratory system. Many children that have got asthma, it can be exaggerated by certain cleaning products that we use or perfumes in the home. So we've got the lovely Julia, who is our fully qualified hormone expert. I think she'll probably be able to tell me all the qualifications because they always get mixed up, but you've done so much research into how to balance hormones. So we're really grateful to have you here. So Julia, just over to you. What effects are there from these cleaning products? Let me just spotlight you and I'll just stop sharing. What effects are there on our body?
Hi. Well, actually the effects can be wide and far-reaching. So women's hormones, obviously, they're like an orchestra. So what happens when we, say, spray a leading supermarket brand of surface cleaner, or perhaps when we use bleach to clean our toilet, we're breathing that in. So our bodies have a really robust and natural detoxification system. It's effective, it's efficient, but it can only do so much, and it can become overwhelmed and dysfunctional, which then leads to serious health consequences. Maybe you get some of that surface spray on your hand accidentally, and actually that detox system I mentioned, it actually bypasses that and just goes straight into your bloodstream. So it can be, we can easily get these chemicals into our body without even realizing it. So most household cleaners contain fragrances, foaming agents, preservatives, artificial colors, bleaching agents, etc. There's too many to name. If we just look at maybe chlorine bleach initially, that's a very reactive chemical. It causes eye irritation, skin irritation, lung irritation, and the same with like ammonia, yeah. Then we've got things like glycol ethers. So there are lots of different chemical names for those sorts of things, but you would find they are solvents, and you'd find them in window cleaners, glass cleaners, carpet cleaners, which obviously they're commonplace in most homes. And so they are known they are known to cause prolonged effects on a woman's menstrual cycle. They are proven to cause miscarriages and fertility problems. The research is there, but these products are still sold. Triclosan, many people might have heard of that one. It's an antibacterial additive. It's usually found in things like washing up liquid, antibacterial stuff. I think there have been some changes to the law around its use now. So it's less of an issue, but it's still good to be aware of it. But that one is nasty. It actually mimics estrogen in the body. So, and it can also alter your microbiome and create bacterial resistance. So if you get an infection, it means if you're exposed to these chemicals on a regular basis, your body won't be able to handle them as well. And it can also cause antibiotic resistance, which we know antibiotics aren't necessarily the best way to handle things, or there are alternatives, but sometimes we just need them, and we really want to be using them when we really need them. And yeah, so that's triclosan. There's also a major one, obviously, is the synthetic fragrances, and they are often a mix of lots of different chemicals. Companies aren't actually required to list them on the label. They can also misrepresent ingredients as green or natural or eco-friendly, because even harmful chemicals can be natural, so they kind of get away with it that way. So it's kind of really important to, instead of trusting companies' advertising, to find ones that disclose their full ingredients list, or just make your own, which is why we're here. So I also wanted to touch on the term endocrine disruptors and xenoestrogens, which I suppose like they're the buzzwords, aren't they? They are a particular group of chemicals that negatively affect the body's natural hormonal equilibrium, like the balance. They are found in not just cleaning products themselves, plastics, so the bottle that the cleaning product is in, preservatives, pesticides, insecticides, even medications, skincare, even building supplies, some furniture. The list is endless, really. And so what the endocrine disruptors do is they mimic the hormones, estrogens, androgens such as testosterone. So this is not mutually exclusive to a woman. This affects a man as well. And obviously we know women do produce testosterone as well, but just to make that aware, you're aware that this is not exclusive to one type of human. And so obviously thyroid hormones as well are hugely affected. And so how they sort of come, when they come into the body, if you imagine that your major organs, your brain, your bowel, your kidneys, everywhere is covered in like little receptors, like little locks. And your hormones are like the key, and they come along and they plug into the receptor and they turn the key and unlock it, and then they go about the day and do what they need to do. So what these endocrine disruptors do is they actually pretend to be the lock. They look like the lock. So they go in and unlock it, so then the actual natural hormone can't get in. Yeah. So they disrupt things. Their signal might be stronger than our natural hormone. And they're very sneaky as well. So maybe you're experiencing problems with your period, for example. Maybe you've got really heavy periods, but you get tested, you have a blood test, or and you're told everything's fine, your levels are normal. But the xenoestrogens can be a bit naughty and they can hide. They don't show up on a test. So And we know, don't we, that women and gaslighting in the medical system, it's real. So there are lots of things that we can do to help ourselves in these situations. So xenoestrogens are the culprit. And xeno, I thought it was really interesting as well. Xeno means foreign. So it's a foreign estrogen. They're like an imposter. And they're not from your body. They're not made by your body. They've come in and they're pretending. So yeah, and as I said, affects both women and men. So, and I just wanted to mention as well, it's worth saying that phytoestrogens are not the same as xenoestrogens. They are plant-based and they're much gentler. On a bio-individual level, each person is going to have a different reaction to something like flaxseed or soy. Some people tolerate it and have, like, it's like a wonder cure for some people, other people not so much. So it really just depends. But the xenoestrogens are the synthetic ones that are going to have detrimental effects on anybody. There's nobody is going to benefit from having those in their system. BPA, which is a plastic, and phthalates are two of the worst. And phthalates are what's often, they're disguised as fragrance. So when you look at a bottle of bleach, lemon bleach, probably it's got something that's a phthalate, and it's probably a mix of all these chemicals that the company doesn't have to name. And so they also do various, like when you think of like strawberry daiquiri flavor in a Fabulosa spray, like how have they managed to achieve that? They've probably just sat in a lab and created this chemistry. So it's not great. All right, where was that in my notes? So yeah, they cause problems with ovulation. And as I bang on about a lot, ovulation is the star of the show. And if you interrupt ovulation, then that's going to affect your period. It's going to affect everything. It's a sign of health in a woman, and it's protective for your heart, your brain, your bones. So we need to be ovulating. We don't want anything interrupting that by accident or on purpose. So the phthalates, they negatively impact sperm count as well. So as I said, this relates to men, not just women. And sperm DNA. It can cause premature sexual development in girls. So they might not start the periods earlier, but it starts earlier than that as well. So we could see maybe early breast tissue development. It's linked to thyroid issues, which obviously thyroid, it's metabolism, temperature regulation. You know, we really need a healthy operating thyroid for overall health. And obviously that down regulates down to like the menstrual cycle abnormalities, which then in turn affects ovulation. So you can sort of see how there's like a ripple effect. And in fact, it's interesting that fertility clinics will say, when you attend clinic, please don't wear any perfume, please don't wear any aftershave, because they know that it can directly impact a woman's fertility and a man's fertility. So generally, these things are known about, but they're still sold on our supermarket shelves.
Shocking.
I know, right? So you're probably all thinking, oh my gosh, this is really depressing. So what I wanted to finish with was, we want a clean and organised home, which, yes, does support emotional and physical health. And it has the potential to energize us or to drain us. And all we're trying to do is to achieve that, right? A nice, clean, fresh smelling home. Who wouldn't want that? So when we want to improve our health, if we are experiencing symptoms, we tend to zone in on those, like what we can see and feel. So maybe weight gain, or maybe skin breakouts, and that I don't just necessarily mean spots. It could be dry skin. You know, you could have psoriasis or eczema flare-ups regularly, stomach issues, period problems, obviously. Maybe diet is the cause, and obviously the stress. And there's always several layers to an issue to get to the actual root. And cleaning products, these endocrine disruptors and these xenoestrogens, that it is one of the layers that you sort of want to start peeling back in order to improve your overall health. So I have a challenge for all of you to set an intention. What if we could not only clean with products that are safe, but if we use the Datora CPG grid, whatever it's called, oils, then we're cleaning with things that are actually good for our health as well. And then so we can actually create a healthy environment at home, because we'll be spraying these room sprays and surface cleaners, and our laundry is going to smell of these things, and they're going to go into our body and actually help the conditions we're struggling with, rather than, you know, exasperating them.
I absolutely love that. That was amazing, Julia. Blown away. I love that. Home is a safe space, so why would we put dangerous things in it?
Yeah, and all we're trying to do is like make it clean and make it safe. Our motivation is for it to be clean and good and happy and healthy. But you know, we can't really trust the companies that are saying, oh yeah, clean with this, because really it's making our health suffer.
Like you say, it's just like with when you make your own food from scratch, you know exactly what's in it. It's the same, isn't it, with green cleaning? And I love the fact that when about the xenoestrogens, they won't show up on a blood test.
Nope.
So we
They're
might
sneaky little things.
yeah, they can hide. So it's really important, isn't it, that we like you say, it's one of the fundamental roles is to clean up this side of things as well as like skincare and other things. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And we so often we think, oh, well, this is happening to my body. I've put on weight. I'm struggling with this. My skin's doing this. So we go to the doctors and we kind of say, what do I do? What do I do to make this better? And the doctor isn't going to sit there and say, right, well, what are you eating? What are you spraying? What are you cleaning with? What are you this? What are you that? They're not going to look at all of that, unfortunately. And those can have the biggest impact. And then we don't need to rely on being on long-term medication for chronic issues that really, you know, we can recover from. There was something in some of the training I was doing earlier, spontaneous remission, I think it is. Whatever condition you might be suffering from, if you Google it, someone will have cured themselves from it, which means you can too.
Oh, I love that. That's very inspiring. There is hope.
Yeah, there is. Absolutely.
Like, peeling back the layers. And it's like deep cleaning your home, deep cleaning your body with anything that, you know, when you do it a bit of a spring clean, you're getting rid of anything that's gonna make it not flow. Yeah.
And it's not possible to do it all at once either. You have to gently peel back the layers. You can't just be like, right, that's it. I'm going to change my life. I'm not doing this anymore. It's all going to be like this. You just overwhelm yourself. And you just need to just set your intention. I want to live this way. How's that going to make me feel if I live this way and I change to live this way? Make it relevant, and then just small steps.
I love it. Thank you. And also, if I love the intention bit. So if anyone has got an intention with regards to this, if you want to pop it in the chat, what you want to planning to do, even if it's just, you know, swapping something out, that would be wonderful. Thank you, Julia. I will unpin you now. Remove you from the spot. Then I will just move on to just talk about, so we've learnt the dangers, and let's have a look at the power of oils and what's in them that can not just be a replacement, but actually be better than the cleaning products that we may have been using in the past. So, for example, when you think of the tea tree oil, that's been used for hundreds of years to treat cuts and wounds and prevent infection. But tea tree oils are powerful antibacterial, antifungal. It's got anti-inflammatory properties, and it's a fantastic, safe cleaner to use on things like high chair trays and things like that. And as well as things like On Guard, we know it's a great non-toxic cleaning agent that can be used on household surfaces. And let's not forget the wonderful lemon in whichever form, whether it's a fresh lemon or the oils, they all have slightly different things, but It can even remove rust, and the oils from the peel can help to cut through grease. I know when I've stained my clothes, I'll just put lemon oil on as a pre-wash thing, you know, just to spot clean on that. Cleaning and shining, and we'll go into what it can do for glass cleaning as well. Okay, so some of the equipment, this is not, you don't have to have them all. If you want to get started very simply, we would just say start with a spray bottle, some oils, and some white vinegar. So don't overwhelm yourself. You can add bits to it after. You don't need it all. And if you want to make your own hand soap, I would say get some Castile soap. The Soapery is a great brand on Amazon, but you can pick your own brand or whatever you want. So some things there that we'll be using through the recipes. These are handy bottles when it comes to our laundry section, either sort of the Kilner jars, jam jars, any sort of glass jars with a metal top would be useful. A wide neck if it's powder, or a narrow neck if it's liquid, depending on which one you're doing. And some oils that are available to help assist you with your green cleaning journey would be some of the top oils. Would probably say, I've got to put oregano on it, but that is one of the top ones. It's incredible for being antibacterial, antiviral. Lemon, lime, tea tree, wild orange, grapefruit, lemongrass, on guard, spearmint, lavender. And even though you think lavender and spearmint, you think, oh, they've got fantastic properties in them, as well as being a beautiful smelling one if we're making a room fragrance, or we're making a hand soap or something. And also we've got the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate, which I think Julie may talk a little bit more about the versatility of this all-purpose cleaner. So it's in a liquid form. You can make all sorts with it. You can mop the floor with it, with a teaspoon of it. You can wash up with it, so it's a natural washing up liquid. You can make probably about, I don't know, 12 spray bottles out of it as a multi-purpose spray. The list is endless. You can use it as a stain remover. So much out of that one bottle. A really useful all-purpose one to have around the home. And obviously I can't remember how much of the actual On Guard is in it. If anyone's got it and they can see it, then feel free to unmute or pop it in the chat. Okay, so let's start with foaming hand wash. We know the market for hand wash, since obviously COVID went through the roof, didn't it? And alcohol washing and things like that. A lot of them can strip the hands of their natural oils and the natural microbiome, if you will. So it's important that we have something that's not only nourishing, but also antibacterial. So using a foaming hand wash dispenser, which you can pick up from your doTERRA shop, or you can get it online, all we're going to do is fill it with Castile soap, filtered water, and your chosen essential oils. And you can have so much fun with this. I've got them all over in each of where there's a sink in our house. You can have lavender, you can have a nice floral one, you can have a citrusy and mint one, an On Guard one, an antibacterial one. So the list is endless with regard to what you can make up with this scents and the scent blends. And if you want to make it a little bit more nourishing, you can add some fractionated coconut oil to that as well. Give it a shake, using that ratio, and you've got your foaming hand wash. Very, very cheap, cheaper than anything you would buy, and also completely natural. So really safe for children and everyone there. So over to Julie. I will stop sharing my screen because Julie will probably be able to demonstrate it better. I'll just spotlight you, Julie. Here we are. Unmute. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm doing the glass cleaner, and literally a lot of the things I'm going to mention tonight are all interchangeable. So in here, I have got some distilled vinegar. The quantities are a third measure of this. Fill it up with filtered water. And then, because I'm doing it on the glass, I would add about 10 drops to this amount. Give it a shake and we're ready to go. And this, I actually bought 2 of these bottles from Essential Oil Supplies. You can get them wherever you want, but I just like the little decal on it. So yeah, that's the glass cleaner.
Thank you, Julie. That's very simple. And I don't know about you, but when I do spray the glass screen in the shower, it really cuts through any sort of watermarks, really, more than any glass cleaner that I've tried. So now moving on to a multi-surface spray that we can use. Where do you use it, Julie? Everywhere?
Okay. So again, keeping costs low, this bottle, £2 from Home Bargains, and Rachel mentioned the On Guard concentrate. Now, just to show the benefit and how much you can get from this, I have another 2 bottles of these, and what I do, I decant about an inch of this into each of those bottles. I fill them up with filtered water, and again, I would then use one of those diluted bottles to fill again about an inch. It's already been diluted once, about an inch again, and then the rest of it is water. And what I put in, because that is an On Guard, I will complement it with wild orange. There we are there, wild orange, because in the On Guard, wild orange is one of the oils in it, and it just complements that. And you might think, well, wouldn't you put a bit more? Sometimes I put a little vinegar in it. But like I say, for me, is less is more, so it doesn't stick to the surfaces. It just glides over very easily, cuts through grease and everything, and just leaves a lovely smell behind. All very low toxic.
Thank you, Julie. What size bottle was the glass cleaner and the cleaner that you use for multi-surface?
I would say maybe that could be a 300 ml,
Okay.
or it could even be, a 500. Yeah, it doesn't actually say.
Yeah, it looks like a 5. I've got a similar.
About 500 ml. But I have to say, for £2, the spray on it it's never got stuck or anything. It's all been very, very good spray out, covers a wide surface, again, making it very cost effective.
Lovely. Yeah. And like say Home Bargains, B&M. I know I've got an Amazon amber ones. So clear or amber would be good. And then your smaller one was at about 200 ml or something.
I would say that's maybe 200,
Yeah.
maybe 250, yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Also, aside from that, you can actually make a multi-surface spray. If you didn't have the On Guard concentrate, can't you, with using vinegar? And I'll just show you the recipe for that actually now.
What you can do as well, so I've got the vinegar here, and again, cost, I buy a 5 litre, great big, and I literally decant into here. So I decant into here and fill that up. So you can imagine that's like a 500 ml. You can imagine from a 5 litre how many glasses I will get of that. And I use that for all sorts of things. I'm not sure who's doing a lot of them tonight, but I use it for instead of a comforter in the washing machine. That is brilliant.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Julie, for that. And we'll be over to you in a sec with the other things that you're going to talk about. So if you didn't have the On Guard cleaner concentrate that Julie has, you could also use like you say, you could use distilled white vinegar. You could either use 1/4 parts to 3/4 water, and then your chosen essential oils. If it's a 500 ml, we'd say about 10 drops of each, but Obviously, you can reduce the ratio if you've got a smaller spray bottle. And then toy cleaning spray. So if you want to really get to grips with some of the real dirt, like proper dirty, hydrogen peroxide in a spray bottle with lemon oil would be very powerful. Also good as a stain remover. So wood polish, Julie mentioned how good wild orange is. I don't know if you've ever seen on the market, there's some like wood conditioners, wood cleaners with wild orange extracts, but obviously this is like wild orange. So you can use this to polish wood, and obviously your wood's going to smell amazing, and it's going to be very nourishing as well, with the addition of olive oil in there as well as cleaning it nicely. We had Gillian make this last time with the laundry stain remover. So as a pre-stain remover, you can use a jumbo roller. So usually we use 10mm rollers when we're making stuff, but you can actually get a jumbo roller. And some people use this to make their own deodorant, just saying, if you want to. Or if you've got like, your husband's got a big back and you want to use a muscle thing rather than using a 10mm. But if you want to use it as a stain remover, I'm probably going to do this soon because I definitely need it. You know, for like shirt collars that get really mucky. So add in lemon, on guard cleaning concentrate and vinegar. And then, yeah, you give that a shake and that's your little, I think you fill it up, you top it up with water as well. I didn't put that, but that needs to happen. Or you can use hydrogen peroxide as well, which is a natural stain remover as well. So I'm going to move over to the laundry girl. So the first one is Emma, who's going to talk about a liquid laundry as well as a softener, fabric softener, and then over to Julie for a liquid detergent. Oh, powder detergent. So liquid and powder. Swap. Okay.
We all have our preferences, don't we?
We do.
For me, it's liquid. So yeah, I came back from holiday last week and I was desperate to catch up with all my laundry. I looked in the little dryer room that I have right here behind me and had run out of laundry detergent. And I was desperate. And I thought, oh my goodness, right, okay. I was planning that as soon as I'd finished my laundry detergent, I was going to make my own. So I have, and I did it Saturday. I came home Friday, I made it Saturday. And I reused my, I've got like a 5-litre container. I reused it and it actually came up to about the 4-litre. And I don't know if you're able to share the slides, Rachel, possibly, please. Thank you. But I just thought I'd show you. I decanted it into this jar. So I have a little lid. I got this jar in a charity shop for about, I think it was £1. So don't forget to, when it's glass, don't forget to try that as well, because there could be a really good kind of a Kilner sort of thing, or, you know, a different type of jar that could work really well. And I already knew I wasn't going to be putting anything that I wanted to drink or anything into it. I knew it was going to be for my laundry detergent. I also knew I was going to do it, but I wanted to show you. So this, if I shake it, because it's got essential oils in it and all kinds, it's got all of these things on the left. If I shake it, I'll show you the consistency. It's a really lovely, creamy consistency. So this is right by my washing machine. And then my other one is just in my dryer room there, just tucked away for when I need to top it up. And yeah, if you could please, yeah, show that video. And it just shows a little bit. So here I chopped up the, I blitzed the soaps. Now you could literally gather your soaps from around the house, you know, the little ones you get from a hotel. Or you might have a preference. You might not want the fragrance, like Julia mentioned. So we've got fragrance-free soaps in our home because we've got sensitive skin. So then I literally blitzed it and then added boiling water. In a frying pan, I did it just because it was with boiling water. I wasn't putting it on the hob or anything like that. And I just mixed it in, got quite an interesting thick texture. And like I said, I recycled my 5-litre. And then what I did is when it got to that thick texture, I then started to add a litre of cold water in, and I just kept mixing it with the spatula. And I promise you, if you keep mixing it, it definitely smooths down. So when I did it, I added some lavender, and my daughter thought it smelled like cat wee because it wasn't the lavender. It was because I decided instead of using, thank you for that, Rachel, instead of using eco washing liquid like I was supposed to, washing up liquid, like fair, like not fairy, I don't use fairy, but like a washing up liquid that you would use that is eco-friendly, I'd put in On Guard concentrate because I thought actually that would be brilliant because it helps me with stains. And I thought, great, I'll put that in. Did not think lavender and On Guard, I had not tested how they smell together. And my daughter was not impressed. So what I did was I added more lavender until she was happy, but I also added wild orange because I thought that will actually help to balance with citrus in it as well, because lavender and wild orange smell beautiful together. So it actually is teenager approved, which I'm thrilled about. And it does smell really nice. So next time, what I would tweak in future, I won't put the two together, basically. I might just do all On Guard, by the way, or I'll do plain and add the lavender. The other thing is, so easy to clean. It was literally like a wet cloth and just cleaned it all down because it was so brilliant. I loved it. So on to the next one is I've got this on the go and I just top it up when I need to. So this has been in here for about 2 weeks and I think I will be changing the citrus oils very soon. But I can literally top it up and get rid, I can change it up. And what I have is 1 part white distilled vinegar and then 1 part water. So it depends on the size of your container, basically. So if you've got a container like that, for example, it's up to you whether you put in 1.5 cups. I think mine was 2 cups of each for this one. So, and it only filled halfway because I knew I was going away on holidays. I knew when I was going to be using it. But if you were planning to like do tons of laundry, then you could obviously put in like 3 or 4 cups, depending on the size, if it's similar to that. And then you can add an essential oil if you want to, but you don't have to. The citrus peels, the vinegar is actually going to break down the natural essential oils from the citrus peel anyway. So it's going to do its thing. So you don't need to use the citrus oils if you don't want to, but if you want a soft, nice smell, an extra smell, and you also maybe want it to be a bit softer, then you could add a couple of drops. But I found it brilliant. I've been using this now. I've literally been catching up on laundry with my son. That's his little chore as well. And it actually smells really lovely and it's cleaned everything. So I'm really pleased with it. And maybe if you do it, check out, you can see how it is on my Instagram if you want to QR code it. But if you do it, let me know how you get on and if you found any little tweaks that you enjoy too. And I like that I know exactly what's in it.
Absolutely. Thank you for that, Emma. That's amazing. I love how you just got soap from everywhere as well. I had Marseille soap from France. I had fragrance-free soap that I have anyway. We've got sensitive skin in our family. We've got psoriasis in our family. It was literally like, that's all we have. We don't have any other things.
Yeah.
But it was just fascinating that it was actually as simple as that.
Yeah.
Which I just thought was incredible. So the eco washing up liquid that I use at the moment, I don't remember the name of it, but I can send you a picture of it. I'm looking for better, if I'm really honest, but this was better than what I was using. So that's for me, my little trick is I'm trying to find ones that have got less chemical ingredients on the back. Yeah. Would you consider using the cleaner concentrate? Yes, so I will, but I probably won't use lavender in it. Okay. I will use citrus oils or maybe balance and wild orange would be a beautiful mix. Yeah. Or I may just use On Guard blend as well. I could just put that in, but I just won't mix it with lavender next time because I promise you she wasn't impressed and she's got a good scent as well. I see. This is the thing, because if you think about what's in On Guard, it's got clove, cinnamon, rosemary, eucalyptus, orange. So you're kind of wanting stuff that will match that. But the cleaner concentrate, that's the reason why I put it in there, is because it really works really well with stains. So I thought that would be brilliant for helping to clean it. It would. Yes. I think some people even use the On Guard cleaner concentrate in the dishwasher. in there instead of a tablet.
And one really good point that somebody commented on my Instagram was that they make this because it's a Nancy Birchwhistle. She was on the Great British Bake Off years ago, and she's doing a lot of green cleaning, low tox, and she's made it so simple and easy. And a friend put in on Instagram and just said that it actually takes about 10 minutes, really, if we think about really making it. It can take her about 10 minutes, but she's been doing it for a year. Remember, I literally on Saturday was like, I'm making it. I wasn't fully prepared. I just thought, well, I had everything anyway. It was so simple. So I just did it. But it took me from start to finish. And that means leaving it cool as well for about half an hour. So it really doesn't take long, it doesn't take that full hour of effort, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you so much, Emma. So now, if you prefer a powder, washing powder, here is Julie with how to make it.
Okay, so I've made some powder up, and so far I've got this bar, and again it's got the clip-on lid, plenty of suction there, and you can pick these up from anywhere. I think I got this from Boys. So what's inside? Okay, so I've got a third each of these. Okay, so we've got bicarb of soda, borax, and citric acid. So what you do is you put a third each of these in that container. So again, just getting the bottle, putting them to one side. There's a third borax, a third citric acid, and a third bicarb in there. And I would fill that up. I would keep it going over and fill that up. And for my essential oil, I would use On Guard, especially for this time of year. This is the reason why. So these are some of the other oils that make up On Guard. So just like Emma said, we've got wild orange, clove, cinnamon bark, cinnamon leaf, eucalyptus, and rosemary. And the benefit of using those, especially at this time of year, they give a warm, spicy, woody smell, nice woody aroma. And it contains power surface cleaning. Again, you can use it for your products, but I've now got it in my washing powder. And it also provides an enzyme, an energizing and an uplifting aroma. So when I get my clothes out, I would then obviously, it's got a nice smell on it. And 25 drops of the On Guard. And the way I would do it, just to make it easy for yourself, so I would do 10 drops of the On Guard and then fill it up again with these three, another 10 drops, and then fill it up again till it's full, put your 5 drops in. And the reason being is that as you're obviously then blending them all together, it's easy to have your oils not sitting at the top. You want them going integrated throughout the whole of the powder. And that's, for me, is the easiest way to split the percentage of the oil up as you're going up. And then it's easy to blend. And then what type of scoop would I use? Well, I have got a 70ml scoop. And one of those I find fits, fill it up, pop it into the drawer of the machine. That does a full load for me. And the clothes come out clean, no stains. And again, the washing machine smells nice. My clothes smell nice. And to follow that up, I've also got some wool balls to go into the tumble dryer. I could even put a couple of drops of them on, or again, to complement it, I would put the wild orange, a couple of drops of that, just so There we are there. Just so it complements the whole of the mixture. I know that blend is going to go down well.
Thank you, Julie. That's great. A really good alternative, that. And it looks really simple to make as well. Okay, so just finishing off our little presentation with a few extra ways we can scent our home beautifully. So I'll just... Okay, so we've done the laundry section. If you like using a laundry refresher, obviously we know things like, I won't mention the brand, that is a bit breezy. Can contain a lot of toxins, so we can make our own linen scent, curtain, fabric refreshers and things like that. I know I use one at the moment, and obviously these are some ideas here. And these, they're so versatile. This is called line dried linen, and basically it is water and either rubbing alcohol or witch hazel to disperse the scent. This one is line dried linen, and it's my favorite of all time fragrances. I could use it as a perfume. It's absolutely amazing. It just smells like freshly washed clothes. So if you want the recipe for that, it's a bit complicated, but it's cypress, 6 drops of cypress. I'll put it in the chat after. 4 drops of black pepper. This is quite luxurious. 8 drops of neroli. 4 drops of lavender and 10 of Madagascar vanilla. So at first you thought, how is that all going to go together? But the black pepper, and it's just like the mix of floral, woody, yeah, just amazing fragrance. So you can make so many. And on EO Supplies, they do an aromatic room spray scent page with stickers and recipes, so you can actually add your stickers to your bottles as well. So have a look for that in Essential Oil Supplies shop. Nice little thing to do with others. You can actually do a laundry soak as well. Let's say if you're really soiled clothing, you can put the clothes in a mixture of baking soda and tea trowel, which is incredible for getting rid of bacteria. If you've had a dog or anything that's gone on where you've been in some mucky situations, then that would be a good soak to do with tea tree. You can even add extra drops of tea tree to your washing machine for extra power there as well. So we talked about room sprays. Nice one as well is spearmint and grapefruit. Bergamot and lavender, a lovely relaxing blend. Adding cedarwood as well. You can make it into a sleep blend as well. Toilet bombs, still not made these yet, but I've got the ingredients. So yeah, just need a silicone mold, citric acid, bicarb of soda. If you're making Julie's powder, you'll have these already. And then follow the instructions here to pack it into the silicone, allow to dry and keep it in a jar. So you can just freshen up your toilet without the use of bleach. This is one of my favorites, so simple. You just get an icing sugar shaker or a flour shaker. You fill it with bicarb and you add lemongrass, tea tree, lemon, purify, 6 or 7 drops, mix it with a fork, and that is your refresher. And I use it to put it in trainers. And if you add in tea tree, it's going to be antifungal as well if they've got athlete's foot or anything. I use it on the carpet and then back it up. It's just an amazing refresher is the odor powder. Such a great one for rugs and if you've got pets or kids or both, which I have. As Julie mentioned, the dryer ball spray, I use this as well. I've actually put it into a spray bottle just with my own blend. I think I use like patchouli and lemon. That was a lovely one. Rubbing alcohol, filtered water, and then spritz the dryer balls and then pop them in the dryer. Because I've heard these sheets are awful, these dryer sheets. In fact, the first slide had how dangerous the dryer sheets were, what the stuff's in it to keep the fragrance in them sheets. And then finally, if you have just got a kit or you haven't got a kit yet, you don't need to buy any extra. You can use what's in your kit. And they've all got very powerful properties in them. Lemon, tea tree, on guard, oregano. Adding oregano just really adds an extra punch. It gets rid of a certain microbe and bacteria and parasite that all the others can't. And if we're trying to get rid of mold, On Guard covers a lot of the mold spores, but certain molds can be eradicated using peppermint, which we found out today. We had Sammy, I don't know if you know Sammy, but she sort of tested the mold spores in a bathroom on the machine, and then it worked out that peppermint was the one to eradicate it, and it did. So obviously there's different types of mold, so but On Guard and peppermint, try those, spritzing it neat on and rubbing it off, and see how you get on with that. But next Friday the 8th, Lisa Lomas is going to be talking more about how to eradicate mold as well. So I will just shut that down. Thank you all for listening, and I'll open it up to questions.